In 2001, whistleblower Gary McKinnon, a British citizen and computer genius, claimed to have hacked into 53 United States government agency computer systems, including the United States Space Command Network, where he found evidence of an off-planet military mission. I found a list of officers' names under the heading Non-Terrestrial Officers. What I think it means is not Earth-based. I found a list of fleet-to-fleet transfers and a list of ship names. I looked them up. They weren't United States Navy ships. What I saw made me believe they have some kind of spaceship off-planet. In 2015, William Tompkins, a retired naval engineer and author of Selected by Extraterrestrials, verified McKinnon's claims with astounding revelations that this secret space fleet does in fact exist, and that its creation is directly linked to the saucer projects of World War II Germany. Tompkins himself actually claims having worked over a 12-year period, beginning in 1951, for an above-top secret think tank within the Douglas Aircraft Company, designing a kilometer-long anti-gravity spacecraft covertly commissioned by the United States Navy. As a teenager, William Tompkins' keen eye for crafting detailed warship models caught the interest of the United States Navy, which recruited him into intelligence programs to work on advanced technology projects. Due to his exceptional skills with naval intelligence beginning in 1942, Tompkins directly participated in top-secret debriefings of Navy spies embedded within Germany's most secret aerospace facilities during and immediately after World War II. Although only a third-class seaman, he replaced a commander at North Island Naval Air Station in San Diego. Tompkins claims that he was personally commissioned by Defense Secretary James Forrestal to undertake upon his own initiative or at the request of any bureau or office of the Naval Air Forces studies of specific instrumentalities and techniques for the purpose of outlining research projects. In other words, his task was to evaluate enemy technologies for use in our own weapons engineering. Tompkins directly served under Admiral Rico Botta, to whom the naval intelligence operatives were reporting on technical projects observed in Germany. 28 of these naval operatives with the rank of lieutenant were used in this covert program, all of whom had German ancestry, which allowed them easy infiltration into the German nation. Tompkins' job was to prepare briefing portfolios or information packages from the gathered Third Reich intelligence to be disseminated among the Navy's various corporate contractors, the military-industrial complex. These contractors, in turn, were commissioned to research and develop comparable technologies to match the German anti-gravity spaceships, which were in various stages of production in facilities across Europe, as well as South America and even Antarctica. The secret intelligence data gathered from German war production revealed that up to and during World War II, there were actually 2 German flying saucer programs under development. The first was a largely civilian effort that predated Adolf Hitler's rise to power in 1933, while the second was a covert military operation led by Heinrich Himmler's SS. Allegedly, the original civilian German saucer program had been inspired by a group of Nordic extraterrestrials who were communicating through female German psychics in the Vril Society. The second program was assisted by a group of reptilian extraterrestrials who made secret agreements with Adolf Hitler himself. In 1939, Tompkins asserts that the reptilians gave the German SS 3 large caverns in Antarctica, to which the bulk of the German secret space programs were relocated. By 1942, facing the reality that German victory in Europe was impossible, the desperate Reich accelerated efforts to relocate the best scientists, engineers, and vital resources to Antarctica with milk cow U-boats. specially built to accommodate very large cargoes. Over the 4 years of his covert naval intelligence service, from 1942 to 1946, Tompkins estimates giving 1,200 classified briefings across the country to defense contractors and scientists most capable of understanding the advanced German weapons projects. This required his flying all over the United States to secret manufacturing sites at Lockheed, Northrop, Douglas Aerospace companies, and top universities that were doing secret work for the United States Navy. But aside from all the astounding technical intelligence data obtained from German anti-gravity projects was the stunning revelation that the world war with Germany was nothing more than the terrestrial extension of a far greater intergalactic conflict within which humans of Earth were unwitting pawns. William Tompkins stated, "Our planet has been a battleground for warring extraterrestrial cultures for thousands of years. The result has been wars, destruction, and attempts to hinder our progress. Recently there has been a great spike in technical innovation due to help from friendly aliens." As well, Tompkins claimed that Hitler and the SS made agreements with reptilian extraterrestrials in exchange for construction design information of extraterrestrial vehicles, their propulsion, their controls, their operation, and everything needed to build those UFOs and put them into production. Further verification of William Tompkins' claims about German saucer projects has come from former astronaut Clark McClellan. A 34-year career NASA veteran, in multiple interviews with Jeff Rense, McClellan revealed that during his tenure with NASA, he spent significant time working with Project-Paperclip German scientists and learned directly from them just how the Reich's secret SS operations had survived the war. Through building advanced anti-gravity aircraft in Antarctica, while simultaneously our own United States space program was being infiltrated with German personnel as well. McClellan also claimed the notorious saucer flight over Washington, D.C. in 1952 was a deliberate German operation launched from the Antarctic to specifically intimidate President Truman. The German saucers were flown out of the South Pole base up to the United States of America over Washington and wherever else they may have flown, and that's exactly where they came from. You see, the Germans built a secret under the South Pole base to create these type instruments, and they did so there. McClellan stated, "Some of the German engineers and technicians I met at Kennedy Space Center were as feared at Kennedy Space Center as they were in the German Army during World War II." However, McClellan claimed NASA Director Kurt Debus was a good personal friend who admitted the Germans were getting technical assistance from extraterrestrials from the Aldebaran star system. Debus knew the entire history of the Aryan people on this planet. They came from Aldebaran in the Hyades star system. He knew all about the Aryans. The Aryans are German people and German-type people. Assuming the truth of William Tompkins' amazing story, his services have proven a valuable asset for expanding the military-industrial complex into fully manned space-based weapons operations. As early as the 1950s, Tompkins claims the United States Navy, in cooperation with Douglas Aircraft Company, began design of military spacecraft which were eventually built in secret facilities in the Wasatch Mountains of Utah. Tompkins states, "I was assigned to design for the Navy about 16 to 18 different classes of United States Navy battle group ships. These ships fly in space. I designed United States Navy spacecraft carriers, which finally got built back in the late 70s, up in Utah, underneath the ground." According to Tompkins, a number of top aerospace corporations played key roles in designing and developing kilometers-long anti-gravity spacecraft used in the Navy's Space Fleet Solar Warden. He claims that the Navy's 8 non-terrestrial battle groups have seen service long enough to where they are already antiquated, and a new generation of 12 spaceship battle groups is currently under development with deployment scheduled by the 2030s. A significant side note to Tompkins' claims of anti-gravity spacecraft carriers comes from World War II and the account of a United States Army Counterintelligence Corps investigation of a 300-foot-long cylindrical craft discovered in Germany's Harz Mountains. The machine was hollow and abandoned, apparently with all of its control and propulsion systems removed. The CIC investigator was told under strictest security by his superiors that the Germans designed this craft as a space machine to go to the moon, and that all of the operational craft had already been flown from the Harz Mountain facility to South America and Africa. William Tompkins confirmed that United States Navy Vice Admiral Leslie Stevens was also aware of naval intelligence regarding Germany's secret flying saucer programs, and that his son, producer Leslie Stevens Jr., was likely aware of this operation as well. As such, it is suspicious that Leslie Stevens Jr. was part of a Navy-sanctioned soft disclosure process that would use Hollywood's television movie industry to reveal elements of the Navy's secret space program. Consequently, the business relationship between Gene Roddenberry and Leslie Stevens Jr. suggests that the original Star Trek TV series was initially based on information gained by Admiral Rico Botta and Vice Admiral Leslie Stevens, that in fact an operational United States Navy space fleet would be deployed under active cooperation with Nordic extraterrestrials in an alliance that would counterbalance hostile threat from reptilian aliens. All through the Star Trek series, we see Starfleet is fully operated under naval military protocols with the assistance of benevolent Vulcan extraterrestrials in defense against malevolent reptilian Klingons. Thanks to Freemason Gene Roddenberry, Navy Space Fleet operations have been hidden in plain sight since 1966.
Fascinating.
And more recently, while UFO researchers and whistleblowers like Gary McKinnon have been obsessing over an alleged secret space program, once again Hollywood has been explicitly disclosing the means and motives of space weaponization for all to see. Why waste idle matter speculating about a secret space program when you can go to the theater and learn all about it? Marvel Studios, a Disney Viacom corporate entity, in 2014 premiered its second installment to the Captain America movie series, Captain America the Winter Soldier, as a full-fledged infomercial for the Deep State's secret space program. Traditionally, Hollywood serves as the town crier for the national security state to publicly showcase its one world order ambitions, and Captain America the Winter Soldier is no exception. Despite this film's tediously overwrought action scenes, it does graphically reveal the overall plan of the technocratic elite to create an enslaved, biologically retarded mass population under the dominance of an artificial intelligence grid. Intrepid superhero Steve Rogers is pitted against the launch of space battleships bent on full-spectrum dominance, bristling with beam weapon cannons and propelled with anti-gravity engines, the work of Iron Man Tony Stark's genius father, Howard Stark, a fictional remake of Howard Hughes and his corporate defense industry empire. Segments of this film could easily have been pulled directly from the whistleblower testimony of former Navy engineer William Tompkins, who in 2016 confided, I was assigned to design for the Navy about 16 to 18 different classes of United States Navy battle group ships. These ships fly in space. I designed United States Navy spacecraft carriers, which finally got built back in the late 70s up in Utah underneath the ground. And the Captain America movie shows spaceships constructed in underground bunkers using anti-gravity propulsion advanced from top-secret World War II German engineering projects, just as Tompkins stated. Upon viewing these ominous warships, hero Steve Rogers understandably questions whether such weapons are intended for defense or domination. The same questions we are asking about the secret space program right now.